Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandy Grace, the author of a variety of young adult novels, the latest of which is Return to Sherwood. This is coming out May 1st, and I'm very excited about it. Today's video is one that I have kind of done on my channel before. I might, in fact, have done multiple times on my channel before. It's essentially just a what on earth is this channel anyway type of video, so I will now commence rambling about my channel. I started this channel around 4-ish years ago. I could look up the actual date, but I'm too lazy to do that. It was when I moved here, so that was 4-ish years ago because I moved here in 2016. Anyway, the point is, around 4-ish years ago when I started this channel, I was essentially just copying the two AuthorTube channels that I followed at that time. I had already written and published, I think, 4 novels at that point. But I wasn't doing any sort of marketing or trying to get my book out there in front of people so they could read it. All of that just made me really uncomfortable, but I liked the idea of YouTube. I don't know why, but I liked the idea. So I decided to try it, except I didn't really use it as a tool to reach my readers. I just copied the two AuthorTubers that I followed. I absolutely loved them both. And that would be Mandi and Jenna Moresi. So I just tried to follow in their footsteps, which at that point was basically making advice and tips on writing. So I started making advice videos. And it all went horribly wrong. Let me break this down for you with an example of how my brain works when I'm trying to break down my own thought processes or my actions and explain them to other people. The short answer is I can't do it. Back in my teenage years, I was a star pitcher on a softball team. Don't get excited, it was just a rec league. It was like Little League for teenagers. We were all bad. I was just slightly better than others at pitching. Anyway, in my final year on this team, my coach pulled me aside with 2 other slightly younger teenagers and said, "Show them your ways," or something slightly less dramatic than that. So I tried to teach them how to pitch. You see, you take the ball and you throw it. I could not for the life of me vocalize what it was that I was doing, so instead I decided to try and walk them through it. So we would stand side by side, and I would very slowly go through the motion. Now I'm doing it. This is my glove. Anyway, I would slowly go through the motions of how I pitched, and they would try to copy those motions. But what I very quickly realized is that when I slowed myself down, why is my phone going off? Anyway, when I slowed myself down and was trying to show them what I was doing with my arm and with my feet or whatever, I was no longer doing what I do on the mound. What I did in slow motion was a different motion than what I did when I was actually pitching. Because I couldn't even break down my process for me. It was entirely instinctual. I would get on the mound and just do it. Magic would happen. I don't know. So back to my YouTube channel. Trying to give advice on how to write or to break down my own processes and discuss how I personally write was impossible. It hurt my brain to try and figure out what I was doing or what people should be doing or anything like that. And I started to genuinely hate making videos, even though I had loved it at the beginning, because it was just so much brain power and pain to try and make advice and tips for other writers. I mean, I don't know. How do you write? I sit at the computer and my fingers start moving and magic happens. So at that point, I sort of transitioned away from doing writing and tip videos, and I just started doing vlogs of my writing experience. When I would sit down and write or edit, I would just vlog it. And I really enjoyed doing that, so that's just what I did. Now, all of this time, with the advice tips and the vlogging of my writing, I was not interacting with either the 2 YouTubers that I followed or any of the rest of AuthorTube, because I honestly did not really know that the rest of AuthorTube existed. And needless to say, during all of this time, I was still not marketing my own books, because, you know, telling people that you actually have a book that they could read, like what? Who does that? So did I garner a following on my channel? No. No, I did not. But I still loved making the videos, so I just continued to do them for 4 years. And that brings me closer to the present. In the last 6 months-ish, I've started following a lot more AuthorTubers, and I've also started interacting with AuthorTube. You know, commenting on videos, joining in live streams, the things that people do. And I'm absolutely loving it. This community is amazing. But because I am now interacting in this AuthorTube world, which is so much fun, I am starting to get more followers. which is sort of what started me thinking on what is this channel? All of these followers are coming in, but what are they coming into? Right now, what I post regularly is vlogs of my own writing experience, because I still really love doing vlogs. And then also there's the occasional random video with my sister, like a recent Monday vlog, or when we did a BuzzFeed quiz for no reason at all. In the last 2 months, I have also sort of drifted into booktuber territory, because at the end of every month I discuss what books I've read that month, and then I've also started recently doing vlogs of my reading of each book. And now for the point of today's long rambly video. I am trying to decide what my channel is going to be moving forward. Like I said, now that I started interacting with AuthorTube, I am starting to get more followers, which are essentially writers like myself, which I love, absolutely welcome, but it does make me question what I want from this channel. Do I want a bunch of writers who just hang out and talk about writing? I mean, that sounds amazing. Or do I want a bunch of readers who talk about the books that they love? Because that also sounds amazing. Or maybe I want readers of my books talking about my books, which sounds narcissistic, but also kind of amazing. What I'm really getting at is that the writers who are now following me are not necessarily the ideal reader for my books. Essentially, an ideal reader is someone that you either write the book for, or is basically the age range that would read your book. Who is most likely to read what you are writing? In my case, I write young adult novels, so basically teenagers, or occasionally someone in their young 20s. That's my ideal reader age. Additionally, my books are heavily religious because I am very heavily invested in a certain person named Jesus, so my ideal reader would be a young Christian teenager. My channel as it stands now is not garnered toward my ideal reader at all, which is not inherently a bad thing. But what I'm mulling over right now is whether I want it to be or not. I don't know. So basically this long rant was just for me to say, I don't know. What you can expect from me in the future is more vlogs of my writing experience, and definitely videos of the books I'm reading and that sort of stuff. I don't want to stop doing either of those things because I enjoy doing them. And I don't want to get back to the place of hating doing the videos, which I was at a couple years ago. That was not fun. I am loving making videos right now, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing for the most part. And aside from that, I just don't know yet. I'm still thinking through all of the options. I guess this is your warning, though. If my channel takes a sudden turn towards Christian teenagers, you will understand why. Anyway, I'll keep you posted, as always. I am currently writing a fantasy novel for Camp Nano, which was sort of an impulsive decision I made last week. So look forward to updates on that experience. As always, there's a link in my description to my website, which has a link to my old website where you can find all of my books that were published under a slightly different name. That would be my original Robin Hood series and my dystopian trilogy. Everything that I'm publishing moving forward is going to be Mandi Grace, but prior to that I was Amanda Grace. That's basically what I've got. If you have any suggestions for what videos I should be making, feel free to tell me. I am all ears. I've never really understood that expression. I mean, I get it. It means you're listening. But you're not all ears. There's a lot of other body parts here. Like I said, now that I'm interacting with what did I say? It wasn't that.